Well, it happened again. Somebody sent me a video of a guy robbing a drugstore, threatening a pharmacist. Cop shows up and saves the day. I said, yeah, no, we already did that one. This one out of Hamilton, Ohio. Don't you remember this one?
Police say Forte, upon hearing footsteps, used the pharmacist as a shield, then broke off and moved down an aisle. Officer Kevin Rule, a 9-year veteran who had jumped the counter, got into position and ordered Forte to drop it. Instead, they say Forte, knife in hand, charged at him in very close quarters. Rule fired 3 times.
Seeing that knife and making that decision, by the time he was able to act, the suspect was literally on top of him. They were within 3 feet or less.
In the span of 8 seconds, the drama went from police confronting Forte to the last of the 3 shots. Officer Rule's action is credited with ending a lethal threat to himself and to others. Police say the pharmacist, held at knife point for several terrifying minutes, was afraid he might cut her throat. And Hamilton Chief Craig Buchheit says the officer was fully justified to use that lethal force. He met today with the father, stepmother, and some other family members of the Forte family. He says they are struggling, trying to process all this and grieving.
I mean, that's one of those videos you can't forget. The guy had a knife. He had a knife to the throat of the pharmacist. The cop comes in, jumps the counter, saves the pharmacist's life, kills the bad guy. Instead of getting a ticker tape parade, it took the city of Hamilton along, the grand jury out there, a few weeks to say, oh, okay, well, you know, guess that was okay that you did that. We won't put you in jail for being a hero. So that's the one you're talking about, right? No, Colin, a different one. Different pharmacy, different black person, different weapon. Slightly different ending.
Tonight, we're investigating the moments leading up to a police officer's use of deadly force, a shooting that a grand jury ruled was justified. KFDM's Haley Bull has pieced together key details from that night, and she joins us in the studio. Haley?
Tiffany, the shooting followed a robbery at Walgreens, but that wasn't John Briscoe's first crime. Now we're getting a new look at what unfolded through surveillance video and someone who was outside the store.
Can't believe that it actually happened.
A robbery of this store, later ending with a man shot and killed by police. A scene Mackenzie Morris won't soon forget.
Thank God I don't have my kids with me. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing that I could think of.
It all unfolded as Morris arrived to pick up medicine for her sick child June 9th at the Walgreens on 9th Avenue in Port Arthur. It was all captured on surveillance video. Investigators say John Briscoe robbed a clerk, then fired a shot into the ground when children came into the store.
All of a sudden, all these girls come running out, probably teenage or so. They all come running out and they're like, ma'am, get back in your car. Ma'am, he's got a gun.
Morris says she and a friend also at the store got back into their cars. Then?
And all of a sudden, the guy comes by, kind of hunched over like he was really, really tired. And he was holding something down here, and he had his hoodie on, and he was kind of trying to run by, but it was so slow.
Investigators say inside, a clerk hiding in a back room called 911. Police arrived within moments.
I think that was the most important thing to me, being a mother, you know, knowing that our police officers are there for us and they are very quick to respond.
They chased after Briscoe, running away with cash in one hand and a handgun in the other.
Continually asking, hit the ground, hit the ground. They tried to tase him. They did everything possible to keep from having to shoot the individual.
District Attorney Bob Wortham says Briscoe pointed his gun at officers, but it jammed. When he pointed the gun, police shot and killed him.
It's a pretty clear-cut case that the police officers showed great restraint waiting as long as they did. They put themselves in jeopardy by waiting as long as they did. It was pretty clear-cut. It was a clean shoot.
But it wasn't the first shooting on Briscoe's part. Investigators say the night before, June 8th, Briscoe robbed a Conoco and fired his gun. The bullet recovered there matched the gun used at Walgreens. A store, a scene, those there will likely remember for a lifetime.
I think that's just something that's going to be ingrained in my mind my entire life.
Investigators say the gun, cash, and cocaine were recovered from Briscoe's body.
So now reporters are required to report in every story that the parents of the guy who was shooting or knifing or threatening or stealing, the reporters are required to report the parents are grieving. No, this false moral equivalence is, doesn't really cut it, does it? The parents are entitled to come forward and apologize for a member of their family putting all these people in danger. They're entitled to apologize for their own role they may have had in creating a monster and growing this monster in their midst. But they don't get to come to us and ask for pity and mercy because they are grieving. No. No matter how much you don't want to make the black kids angry.